I wanted to share a couple things. One, the belong pillar, well, this is not a linear process by any means. Belonging is such an interesting perspective because there's a settlement transitional time, as Perry talked about. There's employment pieces, whatever that looks like for different people. And belonging is part of each of those pieces, but then belonging maybe is further and maybe gets at, when I've been in this community longer, when does it feel like it's my community too? And last year, I think, Nora, if I'm right, at Global Skills, LaFern Clark mentioned that she knew she was Canadian when she went back to Jamaica and she didn't fit in there anymore. So she knew she belonged here because she didn't belong there. So it's a real sense of how does this fit? And at our table, we've had various conversations about what is this belonging? And I guess just for a moment, if each of you could think about points in your life in this community where you felt like you belong, where you felt like you didn't belong, and what were some of the things that led to that or encouraged that. And those are places where we've talked and walked around our belong table. So we see belonging as a longer term process than settlement, and it involves immigrants and the broader community in engaging in a process of mutual learning and interrelatedness. And the focus of our pillar, and we sort of slashed out the word pillar, but is on making Waterloo Region a more inclusive community. And this definition you see here was developed by members of the Belong Steering Group, an essential human need, and I guess that would engage all of us, to be accepted and valued by others in order to reach one's full potential in connecting, participating, integrating, and thriving in the community. So that's a big goal, big goal, even as I read it. Members of our group, so I'll ask, as Perry did, do you want to put up your hand if you're from the Belong group? Great, thank you so much. We have members of municipalities because if you think about places of inclusion and welcome, the municipal sector and services are a place where a lot of families, kids, we can all connect. We have various service organizations, and we have a number of community members who come with the lived experience of arriving in this community from another country, either as a refugee or an immigrant, and how do they come to belonging. So you can... Thank you, Daniela. So these are our strategic directions, and I kind of see them as three things. So the first one I see as awareness, and part of this relates to, if you are a fan of Mr. Rogers, that might date us all, but who are the people in my neighborhood? And it gets to know, sometimes we approach our neighbors with fear, or we just don't understand what some of their values are, differences. We've talked around our table about the charter in Quebec that's coming. What does that mean? About inclusion and respect and diversity. So we're thinking about increasing public awareness of the value of a diverse and welcoming community. Why is it so important that we are a diverse community? And what is the fact that as immigrants or refugees bring their gifts and talents and the community accepts them and values that, how important that is. So awareness. The second direction really relates to opportunity. And as someone who's been in the community longer and past the settlement stages, looking at ways to engage and be part of and participate, we're talking about civic engagement and civic education, participation and opportunities for leadership and moving into positions of influence in the community, whatever that may represent, be it with a social organization, be it with municipal government, be it whatever that might be in your own organization where you work in terms of staffing and influence. So thinking about opportunity, and I think the third one really relates to impact, because part of why we would do this work would really be to lead to organizational community-wide change so that I'm new here, I start to belong here, I can participate fully in this community. So that is the direction that we're going, and we are meeting on Wednesday. Just a reminder for those of you here from the Belong Group to work on our implementation pieces, and there's lots of ideas for activities that could lead us there, and it's really an exciting time. So thanks very much, and I hope Fazia feels a lot better.